are many illusions we encounter in life. Illusions of love, illusions of power, illusions of wealth. But the most dangerous illusions don't come from outside. They live within us. And the most dangerous of them all is the illusion that we know when in fact we don't. In the late 1990s, two psychologists from Cornell University, David Dunning and Justin Kruger, set out to study a disturbing question. Why do so many people seem so sure of themselves, even when they're clearly wrong? Why do we encounter people who speak with complete confidence while knowing so little? And conversely, why do those with actual knowledge, the experts, the thinkers, often hesitate, doubt, and second-guess themselves? They conducted a series of experiments, asking people to assess their abilities in grammar, logic, and humor, then compared those self-assessments with their actual performance. The results were consistent and unsettling. The participants who scored the lowest were also the ones who overestimated their skills the most. Meanwhile, those who performed the best tended to underrate their own abilities. So why does this happen? To answer that, we need to go beyond behavior and look into the very mechanics of self-awareness. You see, intelligence is not just about knowing. It's about knowing what you don't know. This higher-order thinking is called metacognition, your ability to think about your own thinking. The problem is that those who lack skill also lack the cognitive ability to recognize that lack. They're not just wrong, they don't even know how wrong they are. And that is the trap. The double curse of ignorance, Dunning and Kruger described it as a double burden. The incompetent not only make poor choices, they also lack the insight to realize their choices are poor. It's like being tone deaf, but not knowing you're tone deaf. So you sing with total confidence, off-key, off-pitch, unaware. And the worst part, everyone else can hear it, except you. Where it shows up, real-world consequences. The Dunning-Kruger Effect isn't just a psychological quirk. It's a lens, a way to see the hidden architecture of modern life. And what you see is disturbing. In politics, bold, simplistic claims often beat nuance and complexity. Charisma gets rewarded. Doubt gets punished. In politics, confidence is often mistaken for competence. On social media, misinformation goes viral because it's delivered with conviction. People don't share what's true. They share what feels certain. And certainty is the currency of the internet. In the workplace, those who rise to power are not always the most capable. They're often just the most visible, the most assertive. Meanwhile, the truly skilled, the cautious thinkers, may hesitate because they understand how complex things really are. We live in a world that rewards confidence more than competence. And in such a world, the Dunning-Kruger effect is not just a bias. It becomes a systemic danger. An invisible force shaping who gets heard, who gets trusted, and who gets followed. How to recognize the illusion in others and in ourselves. The hardest lies to uncover are the ones we tell ourselves. Because the Dunning-Kruger effect doesn't only affect them, it affects us. Me, you, everyone. No one is immune. And perhaps the most dangerous moment of all is when you believe you're immune. The trap of invisible ignorance. The core problem with ignorance isn't just that you don't know, it's that you don't know that you don't know. And that's what makes it so slippery. You can't use the mind to notice its own blind spot unless that mind is trained to doubt itself. So, how do we escape? Not through more knowledge, but through something harder. Intellectual humility. Step 1, doubt your certainty. Ask yourself, why do I believe what I believe? Do I understand the opposing view? Truly understand it? Or have I dismissed it too quickly? Do I rely on intuition or on evidence? Am I thinking critically or just protecting my ego? The more certain you are about something, the more it deserves to be questioned. Step 2, develop metacognition. Cultivate the habit of thinking about your thinking. After conversation, ask, was I speaking from knowledge or from confidence? Did I leave room for uncertainty? Or did I pretend I had all the answers? The mind loves certainty. It makes us feel safe. But clarity isn't always comfortable. And truth doesn't always feel good. Step 3. Surround yourself with dissent. Echo chambers feed the illusion. Feedback, especially uncomfortable feedback, is your mirror. Surround yourself with people who will challenge you, who will question your assumptions, who will say, you might be wrong. It hurts, but it's necessary, because the ego hates friction. But the truth often lives inside it. Step 4. Reframe ignorance. Ignorance isn't a weakness. It's an invitation, a space yet to be explored. The most dangerous people are not those who lack knowledge, but those who think they don't. Be suspicious of easy answers. Be wary of strong opinions not backed by nuance. And most of all, respect complexity. There's a quiet kind of wisdom that doesn't scream. It whispers, and it says, I do not know. In a world obsessed with certainty, where the loudest voices dominate, where confidence is confused with competence, it is a radical act to be uncertain, to say, I might be wrong. Let me listen. Let me learn. The Dunning-Kruger Effect isn't just a glitch in the human mind. It's a mirror, one that reflects how little we truly see, and how easily we're fooled by our own reflection. You can spend a lifetime learning, only to realize that the more you know, the more you don't. And that's not a failure. That's the beginning of something real. Final reflection. True intelligence is not in having answers. It's in asking better questions. It's in slowing down before you speak, in holding space for doubt, in choosing to remain curious when others rush to be certain. Because the human mind is not a perfect machine. It's a living paradox, capable of brilliance, haunted by bias. And in the fight between what we know and what we think we know, clarity is not given. It must be earned. So the next time you feel certain, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this truth or just a mask my mind has given me to feel safe?